feet up, cleaning like country. I be paranoid, overthinking you. Say your life is the same way it seems. Time to get paid.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got the video that I've been talking about for a few videos now, and I'm finally getting around to doing it. It's my 3-month review of the car. It's been a little bit over 3 months. I'm just now getting around to doing it. Basically telling you what I've enjoyed about the car, what I've maybe disliked about the car, and everything that's come along with it, coming from the SS going to the ZL1 and all those sort of things. So let's get into it. Alright, so probably the biggest thing coming from the SS to this, which is not just on a typical SS, but obviously the wrap is quite a difference from just black paint that I had on the SS. That is definitely something that attracts a lot, and I'm still getting used to it and getting used to a wrap car, which has absolutely spoiled me beyond belief. Just, you know, how, especially if y'all watch my how to take care of a wrapped vehicle, you can just waterless wash it most of the time, don't even gotta actually wash it, and that is like my favorite thing about the car, honestly, because I hate washing cars, so it makes it a lot easier on me. I can just waterless wash it most of the time, as long as it's not too dirty, and then wash it, you know, whenever I need to. So that's probably like my favorite part of the car. I know a lot of people probably will be like, that makes no sense, but to me, it is probably my favorite part of the car. Secondly, obviously having 200 more horsepower in the SS with the supercharger and the supercharger whine is definitely a strong, like, second favorite thing about the car. And I'm assuming it's probably a lot of other people's favorite thing about the car is just being wide open throttle, hearing that supercharger scream inside. It is amazing. I love that cold air intake that is on there. And of course with that, that supercharger just sounds amazing. And with the exhaust setup, the Corsa axle back extremes, the car just, to me, it sounds perfect. I would like to make it a little bit louder, but I don't think I'm gonna touch anything on it really too much. I'm trying to keep it kind of stock. It's just a 6 stuff, you know, so we'll see where that goes. All right, so as you all know, the car is wrapped, and it's in this psychedelic flip wrap, and it's just crazy how many different colors like this thing shows, like just moving around. I'm sure y'all can decipher all these colors, and yeah. So that's one of the hardest things to get used to, coming from black paint to this. It's quite a difference. And actually another one of like my favorite things about these ZL1s, these stock wheels, for some reason for me, they look, I absolutely love them. I don't know why, but whenever they're clean, they just look so good. And especially like against this wrap, I think it matches pretty, it ties in pretty well, I should say. And also these 6-piston brakes and those huge brake calipers, and you can see the brake rotor as well. Those brake rotors are massive. You can really not even see it on camera, but those things are massive, and the 6-piston brakes are absolutely phenomenal. I love them so much, and I love the finish on them too. They're not red like you've seen on other ZL1s, and that's because they're only red on the 1LE packages. And same goes with the SS 1LEs. They're only red on the 1LE packages. So if it's a regular ZL1, it'll have these color bricks. When I was looking for ZL1s, the 2 options that I wanted on this car was the carbon fiber intake, or carbon fiber hood insert, and the sunroof that is on this car. Those were really the 2 options that I wanted. The color was really secondary. I really wanted a hyper blue metallic, but this one is definitely a pretty good choice. But speaking of this, I haven't actually shown this yet. I actually recently got this done. On the stock ZL1, it's actually red, but on this one, I got the people that got the dent out to actually put the piece of wrap on the one that matches the actual wrap. So see if it goes in like the shade, it just turns gray like that. But when sun hits it, it's got the same exact thing as this, and it's also in the front badge as well, which I think it ties in pretty well. It's really different, you know, especially just coming from having red. We can show the motor. I actually don't think I've shown this before yet on video. Maybe besides the reveal, I did show the carbon fiber intake, but other than that, I don't think that I showed this at all. But yeah, here it is. It is a LT4 supercharger. Bone stock, there's nothing done to it except for the air intake, of course, but nothing like mods wise or nothing like that. It's just regular LT4, just big chilling in here. So yeah, that's that. And the carbon fiber intake, of course, like y'all have seen before and heard, that's exactly what it is, the cold air induction Elite Carbon series. and like I said, I love it. It came with, you know, already on the car, so I have zero complaints. I'm very glad that that was on the car. And of course the Corsa, like y'all have heard before. Alright, so inside the ZL1, like I said, it's got the Recaro seats. I absolutely love them. They're all bolstered up pretty well. Whenever you're in it and you're like driving around, you're like planted. Like it'll secure you, like you're not sliding around or nothing. And I would assume around the track it's probably really, like, feels really nice to be in. Accenting, of course, with the red seat belt to accent fully with the interior. Red stitching all the way around. Absolutely love these red seat belts as well. Make the car, to me, look a ton better. Red stitching all the way across, of course, like I said. All up in there. That's actually Alcantara too, the whole like dash piece right there. This whole piece is Alcantara. Door trim, side bolsters for your knees. The steering wheel, it is really nice. My only problem is, obviously, it's a used ZL1. So the guy that had it before me, he put about 38,000 miles on it, and obviously he's going to drive a good bit right there. And he had his hands, it seemed like mostly like around this area, right up top, and it's a little bit worn out, which you will really not be able to see on camera. But compared to like a new Alcantara steering wheel, it just it doesn't feel that great, to be honest with you. So the main difference here on this screen, or on this layout right here, compared to the SS, is on the top right here. Let's see if we can make that. You can kind of see the well, yeah, you can see it, the little screws right there, and that's actually your boost gauge right there. So it tells you how many pounds of boost you're pushing instantly, and they actually made the little twin screw right there, and I think that's a nice little feature. On the SS, on that spot right there to the right is actually the battery voltage, which I'll try to pull up a picture of or get it off of an old video. Other than that, everything else is the same up there, at least. Same exact speedometer, tachometer, all that. The only difference is on this, let's see, on performance, you know, you go to the right, you go to performance, and you scroll. This thing has something called ELSD, which will show you the amount of wheel slip, like, while you're driving. It's actually kind of neat. I haven't really looked at it while I'm driving and, you know, sliding around, because that seems kind of dangerous, but it'll tell you right there real time, and it's kind of nice to have for people that go to the track and all that. Another thing, it tells you your tire temp on this. One thing that I do got to complain about, I don't know if y'all can like really tell, on that picture right there on the diagram, it's actually a 5th gen Camaro instead of a 6th gen Camaro, which I can probably make it better like this. Yeah, y'all can see a lot better right there. It's a 5th gen Camaro instead of a 6th gen. That, I still don't understand, like, what's up with that. One other thing that this has is something called PDR, which is right there. And if y'all don't know what that means, that actually stands for Performance Data Recorder. And what that is right up here in this little box right here, there's actually a camera that will record out in front of you, and it'll also record your tachometer and dash, like on the screen of this. So you can mark the destination where you want to make the finish line, and it'll make that the finish line every time. So you can do your laps, and it'll record your laps like that. So that's kind of neat. And also, as you can see, there's actually a picture of a ZL1. Unlike on the dash where it was a 5th gen Camaro, this is an actual ZL1. And, you know, they did it right there. They could have done it on there, but it is what it is. This car is, of course, a 10-speed automatic, and I can tell you it is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love the 10-speed compared to the 8-speed on the SS. It was a good transmission, but it was a bit notchy at times, and I don't know, it didn't feel as responsive and as crisp as this one does. This one, it actually shifts faster than a Porsche PDK system, and it's just hearing that, it just sounds wild, but it's so smooth too. Like, you can just like grow through the gears. Just like that, like no problem, like crisp, and like no jerkiness like the 8-speed on the SS. And one thing I do love about this car is how quiet it is. Like right now, we're just cruising at 55. Now I'm on the throttle, but cruising at 55 in 9th gear, and it's just quiet on the inside. But it can be loud when it wants to, and that's something that I really enjoy. Of course 10 gears helps with that, but for some reason it's 100 times better than the SS. Like, it's a smooth ride. Like, even in sport mode it's not that crazy. And of course you got your tour mode that loosens up your steering and your suspension. You're basically just, it feels like you're driving on a cloud. You got snow and ice, basically the same thing as tour, but you know, preparing for, you know, icy weather. And you got track, which is the most extreme version of this car, and it just stiffens up your suspension, your steering, and throttle response too. So that's for like your ultimate, you know, you need to get good times at the track and best throttle response and all that sort of stuff. But for now we're going to keep it in tour, and it's just so nice and smooth. Like, the steering is so responsive, like I was telling you, because of the 285 tires. So it's crazy. Like, whenever you go around corners, you can just grip and not have to worry about, you know, not making or understeer basically, or oversteer, because this car grips just like amazingly through the corners. But if you're just trying to drive normal around the city, tour mode is absolutely amazing. You can barely tell. I almost compare it to like a Mercedes. Like, it's just that like nice that you can really barely tell that it's a car that could do, you know, crazy numbers on the highway or anything like that. So there's one more thing that I wanted to show you on the one that I had actually forgot, or actually two more things, but this one real quick. Obviously it has the performance, in the performance stuff it has you 0 to 60, 0 to 100 quarter mile and all that. But I was actually going to show you, this thing has a launch control, and it's actually got line lock as well, which is, if you go over to the right here, the launch control is disabled of course, but right here to enable it, you actually got to change your mode, which you got your mode selector right here, like on any 6th gen Camaro, and then you got your traction control button. And all you got to do for this, on the screen, you got to be in track mode, you got to be in drive, track mode or sport mode. I believe sport mode also works on this, and then you have to hit that traction control button twice, and it'll bring up active handling. And obviously you can hit whichever one you have, so like, and you do it with the actual mode button, go through them with the mode button. So say like we'll say race, right? You hit select on the actual steering wheel, and you hit select right there, and there you can see it's got high traction for launch control. And to do it, all you have to do is literally just stab the gas, or stab the brake, and then stab the gas, just like so, and it holds your RPM to essentially launch the car at whatever you want it to do, which is absolutely crazy. And it actually, I didn't even show this, you can hit custom, and you can set whatever RPM that you want. So you can hit your launch RPM if you want to go crazy, or if you want to go conservative, you can change it all like that, from 700 to 24, and slip target, which gives you the amount of wheel slip. And yeah, it's kind of nice to have on the ZL1. So just like the SS, this thing has heads-up display, and obviously it's got a whole bunch of information that you can change. Hit whatever, music, north, and then this is the one that I usually leave it on. And as you can see, it goes like that. It'll tell you the same thing that this tells you, real time and all that. And it's actually got shift lights up where the actual, let's see, the number is. It's got 3 different lights that come on, kind of like a red light, so it goes red, yellow, then green, to show you when to shift. And I'll try to throw a clip of that in right now so y'all can actually see it. I'll probably have to wait till it's nighttime so y'all can actually see it like really well. Alrighty guys, so what I'm gonna do is actually do this in the parking lot, so I'm not doing this like while I'm driving on a road. Right up above where the number is, you'll actually see the shift lights come on, hopefully. There you go. Anyway, focus. Couldn't hold the camera too steady, but y'all kind of get the idea. It's a neat little thing to have, and I never, again, knew that it had it until I was driving it, and I saw that and thought it was pretty cool. Thought I should mention it in this video. So that's gonna do it for the video. That was my first time doing like a review type video, so hopefully I wasn't like all over the place. I tried to just cover the topics that I think most people would like think about coming from an SS to this. But if not, leave your question in the comments if you do have one, and I'll try to answer it as quickly as possible. Be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe, make sure you keep up with the videos. We'll see you in the next one.
Subscribe, motherfuckers.